Hello, everyone. This is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne. And I bring you a video tonight titled Understanding and Reversing the Root of Your Frustration with Women. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. But let's get right to it. We have to understand and reverse the root of your frustration with women. And the one way to really do that, I'm just having observation of conversations that I'm having with gentlemen that in my dating community, men that I'm coaching, or just men that I come across. The stories are the same these days in reference to one thing. A lot of men have not accepted the reality of the game. The expectations that you have with women do not always materialize, and that's just a part of the game. It can't occupy your energy or make you mad, or else you're not going to reverse your frustrations with women, because the frustration comes with you desiring the fantasy of her non-interest versus the fantasy of her continued interest versus the reality of her non-interest. And that's why I'm seeing men frustrating, begin and lie, is that they're wanting women to be something that the women are showing them that they're not. And I have to bring some sort of resolution to this frustration tonight because it's unnecessary. That's why I believe it can be reversed. So it's identifying and reversing the root of your frustration with women. That's really all it is. And I can just tell you some of the examples. Okay, so I have guys who will get a woman's number, and the woman seems excited, and then they text her or call her and nothing, crickets. That's just part of the game. That's why you play the numbers game. That's just built into the fabric of the game. Like you can't hold her initial emotion as her definition of her interest when it comes to you. It was just how she was in that moment. You have to give women moment to moment the ability to show you how they really view you. She could have been interested just, for you to be her in the moment entertainment. She's like, okay, let me let him think I'm interested for some conversation. Um, she could have just had a, fleeting moment where she just wanted to talk to you or just anything. Like, it's really none of your business, because the woman who has the type of level of interest that you should desire, there's no drop off. Okay, she had an excitement when you got her number, and she picked that phone up. She returned that text with an excitement, and then you all set something up with her excitement. That's the woman that you want to give your energy to. But if you're getting frustrated, you're giving your energy to women who clearly show you that they don't want the interaction like you want it. They don't want it like you want it. And the only way that you can give your energy to that type of situation is that you don't want yourself more than you want a chance to have sex with these women. And a lot of times, these women, they're a little bit more attractive than the women that you deal with on a regular basis, whether you admit it or not. Because I'm finding a lot of men hiding behind extreme levels of ego as well. A lot of lies are being told in terms of the kind of women that they deal with on a regular basis. So a lot of guys are holding on and overextending themselves to women who they should just disappear from. And I can just think of other examples. You, you know, um, Guys are experiencing difficulty, once they meet women, and they still take the woman's number down, and then they contact the woman, and the woman gives them another difficult situation. It's like, what did you think was going to come of that when you accepted her initial difficult situation that she gave you? And she knows she's being difficult because she's not afraid to lose you. You're not her first choice. And that's what I want the men. You can avert and you can alleviate the frustration if you just acknowledge that your interest is higher in the interaction than hers is, and you can identify that through her behavior. It's not difficult. Just stop wanting the interaction more than she wants it. I'm seeing guys, as they, reach out to these women, and they're coming to me, with questions about why the woman didn't hit them back, and um, why they have to, how many times should I hit her up? after she initially didn't text me back? Like, these are all questions that have obvious answers that should be an obvious exit for you if you truly value yourself. And that's what's really getting to the root of the frustration, is that these men want women from the very beginning that are showing non-interest. They want these women more than the women want them, but it's the result of the man not wanting himself enough. When a man wants himself enough, this is what it looks like. The man will not go for the woman and overextend himself for the woman just for the possibility of sex because she has beauty that he's not used to experiencing. He won't do that. What he'll do is he will get with the woman and have sex with the woman that wants to have sex with him. It's really that simple. And so he won't be frustrated by the absence of the woman who has a higher level of beauty that he's used to dealing with because she doesn't want to be there. He won't get frustrated by that because his world is balance. Balance means that nature is prevailing and that there is a woman or women in his life that want him the way that he wants them. It's really that simple. And she may not look like those other girls, but since that man values and loves himself, he's satisfied with her. Even as he tries to get more beautiful women, he's still satisfied with the women that won't run him around, that won't tell him no, that will voluntarily create sexual situations, that have a reverence and excitement for him every time they enter his presence. And so he's not in frustrating situations that he has to reverse because he doesn't go past the initial non-interest, imbalance in interest from her to him. That's it, regardless of how she looks. That's a balanced man. But what I'm finding is that men are making ego-based propositions. Oh, she's so bad. And they just can't wait to overextend themselves and get that piece of, pussy from that girl that he thinks is so bad so he can go brag about it. And why do men brag? Because they think that woman validates them. And how does that woman validate them? Because they're invalidated from within. So your frustration is an ego-based proposition that you're making to yourself. That you would overextend yourself to a woman and question why she doesn't want you the same way that you want her and still choose to go after her. There's a huge red flag on all these women's heads as soon as you meet them. Every story I'm getting told, I can go right to the red flag where there was a clear indication from her that she was not interested the same way that he was. And they all went past it for the possibility of a piece of pookie attached to a beautiful woman. And the other part of the conversation that a lot of men won't admit is that woman is more beautiful than the ones that they're used to dealing with. That's the piece of the puzzle right there, that they voluntarily overextend themselves, and that why they feel her absence when even if they have to pull themselves back, they still feel her absence because they're like, damn, I could have got that piece of pookie attached to that beautiful woman. Instead of understanding that no woman can validate them once they're validated within themselves, and they simply will go instinctively towards a woman that values him the way that he values himself. So that woman is forgettable. And when a woman expresses non-interest and you don't go past the non-interest or the imbalanced interest, the lukewarm interest, if you don't go past that, there's no frustration and there's nothing to reverse because you're already your first choice. And so you want to make sure that you're not finding yourself in frustrating situations because you're staying in situations too long where the woman showed you initially that she didn't have the same level of interest that you had. This is self-imposed frustration. This has nothing to do with the woman. This is all your fault. And you're not going to reverse your course until you accept that it's your fault because you overvalued the situation. You over-inserted yourself because you went past imbalance. You set the stage for this shit to happen. And so you should be frustrated with yourself. And I'm glad that at least the men brought it to me because I gave them the best possible solution I can give them, so they can go deeper within themselves and understand why they're doing it, and go to deeper levels of self-love so that they won't do it again. That's how you reverse course when you're consistently overextending yourself in these situations. That's how you reverse course. But I just want to give you some examples, okay? I want to give you some examples. I might do like two or three of personal situations I've been in that are a representation of these situations, okay? So I can remember this was a very long time ago. We're talking roughly 10 years, maybe close to it. And I was at a book signing. I was at an outdoor venue. I was at a book signing. I think this girl stopped past my table or bought my book or something like that. And she was gorgeous. I mean, tall, light skinned, red bone. You know how I like them if you watch my channels enough. And So of course, I asked her for a number, all that kind of stuff, and we got together. And I think the second time we got together, she showed up to the date late, right? So we went to the waterfront in DC, and I got there on time, and I was waiting, and it was like around happy hour time too, and the weather was nice. I can still see the day. The weather was nice, and it was right on the water in Georgetown. And so I was waiting on her, and I was dressed decent, but I was just looking real good. That a motherfucking 6'5" nigga just standing there by himself, shades on, chilling, in great shape, with the fitted clothes on and this and that. The women are going to make sure that you come and talk to them. And while she was taking her fucking time getting there was a chick 10 years younger than her that looked just like her with her friend. They motioned me over to come and talk to him. So I was like, I ain't got shit to do, So I started talking to him, and things are going well. They're like, "What you about to do?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm waiting on this girl to show up. She's a little late or whatever." I didn't lie to them because they won't see her pull up. And I'm just like, "Yeah, but we all single." So I was like, "Yeah, let me get your number." And that was the young pretty girl. And so she gave me her number, and right after that, the girl shows up, and so I walk over to her. And she's like, "Oh, Matthew, the flirt." I'm just like, "Well, what did you expect me to do while you taking your time getting here?" So no, we sit down, we have a decent date, everything's cool. And I just remember, I think, we went back to my place after that. Now, mind you, she just witnessed these two women. And she didn't see me get the number or anything like that, but women know when women are attracted to a man. And women know their competition too. She saw women are doing whole math equations, especially when you have a very attractive man in the situation. And so it was like, okay, here he is with a woman closer to his age, and she's gorgeous. Like she did a whole math equation. I promise you. So we go back to my place, and she's fronting, and I think this is probably the second time we got together. And this is why this is back when I used to take women on dates. I don't even do that shit anymore. Like it's a fucking waste of time. So we go back to my place, and she's, "Oh, I'm not quite ready yet, for anything sexual." And I promptly was just like, "All right, put your stuff on, man. Put your stuff on." And drove her back to her car, because she had to park a little way from where I live because of the parking situation. And that was it. Never said another word to her. But I'll tell you what I did do. Is as soon as that situation was over, I had a girl that I had maybe only been with one time, and she had never posed any resistance or gave me any hoops, impediments, bullshit, no drama. Everything was easy. And so I just went to the woman that wanted me the same way I wanted her. I called her and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she wasn't doing anything. I was like, "Is it cool if we hang?" And she was like, "Yeah." So I just reverse course. That was it. Boom. When I saw her, we had a great evening. Everything the other girl wouldn't do, she did it. And I never thought of the other girl again. And so that's the whole point of what I'm trying to communicate to you. When the women want you, there are no hoops and games and impediments, but they should be forgettable if they're showing a lack of interest. Like there shouldn't be a frustration. There shouldn't be a part of you that's trying to figure out why she did what she did, why she seemed excited, why she, like, even that girl, she tried me. She saw a younger, prettier girl who was attracted to me, and this girl still tried me. But I didn't overthink it. I didn't overanalyze it. I just reversed course. I just pivoted, and that's all you have to do. Instead of being frustrated, just pivot. But make sure that you have something to pivot to, because you don't want to be a man, and the root of your frustration is that you don't want to deal with the women that want to deal with you. You don't want that to be the root of your frustration, because every segment of women has to invite you to the table. And I've said that before in my videos. If you want extremely beautiful women, you have to improve yourself to the point that extremely beautiful women routinely and collectively, because they collectively move in accordance with how they're attracted to men. Attraction is something that you cannot abandon, and it's something that you cannot negate. So if these beautiful women who are not showing interest in you keep leaving you hanging and you're frustrated, leave them alone. Just leave them alone, because you haven't been invited to the table yet. And you can avert the frustration by dealing with the women that are on your level. And the women who are on your level are the women who routinely offer themselves to you sexually without any games, without any dates, offerings, or impediments and hoops. That's your level. Make sure my mic is still on. Looks like it. Those are the women on your level. And you won't be frustrated if you accept that certain women are on your level. And if you want women at a higher level of beauty, then you have to work on yourself until you're recognizable to those women. You have to go deeper into your gifts, your talents, your abilities. You have to take your physique very seriously. You have to understand that you must become a sex symbol. If you want the most beautiful women that are out there to offer themselves to you and not play with you and show non-interest and frustrate you, then you have to become a man that they offer a seat to the table. And they offer you a seat to the table when they collectively say, hey, come over here. We're going to make this thing easy for you. The women that make things easy for you, that's your match. And you need to accept it or you're going to be frustrated. So that's why I say this is self-imposed frustration. And I see men, they think they're so fucking fly and shit. You know, they might be, improving different areas of their life. And I commend these men for that. And this is not, like one man in particular. This is the collective because I'm meeting the same type of man and hearing the same thing. And motherfuckers thinking they so fly. But the results are showing them a little differently. And they have women that like them, but at the same time, they're frustrated because the women that don't like them, they like them. And that's why I said you can avert this frustration. This frustration is self-imposed. So be humble enough and love yourself enough to deal with the women that want to deal with you. Frustration averted. That's it. Frustration averted right there. But acknowledge that it's okay to want a more beautiful type of woman to deal with on a regular basis. Nothing wrong with that. Especially if you're taking the measures to become recognizable to that kind of woman. We get exactly who we are in life. And anytime that you overextend yourself to get something, you're defying nature. And every time you defy nature, there will be chaos and there will be frustration and you'll pay a penalty. Anytime you don't interfere with nature, meaning dealing with the women that want to deal with you, then there will be no frustration. There will be no chaos. There will only be peace. And peace is a great place to dwell. I promise you that. So that was that one story. That was that one example. So um, I want to look at something in reverse, right? And this is the importance of becoming a sexually attractive man right here. Because as a sexually attractive man, if a woman gives you non-reciprocal energy, all you do is disappear anyway. There's no frustration because by the time you take a step away from her, you've already forgotten her name. Any woman that doesn't give you the outcome that you want, you forget her name. Because you have enough women who look just like her or better that are giving you the exact situations and interactions that you want. That's why it's very important to become the sexy, attractive man. You can make the optical improvements in your life. You can become more professionally successful. You can find your footing and get some semblance and make some strides with your career. But ultimately, women choose with their lust and desire. Like the optics, the backdrop is great, but you physically is what is going to stimulate the woman that you are attracted to choose you. And so you can't negate the physical. That's why it's so very important to become that sexy, attractive man, that sex symbol. That sex symbol aspect of the sexy, attractive man is separate from the optics of the visionary portion of the sexy, attractive man. You have to become that sex symbol. And so I'll show you how this looks in reverse. So there was a girl I dealt with. We met, I was like in my 20s. This was quite a while ago. And we never were able to link up. And she ended up moving. And I guess we would just observe each other on social media from time to time. There was little to no conversation until I started doing certain things, on social media and got some more recognition. And she, had done some media things. And I guess we just had more of a fit. And so we kind of found our way back to each other. And there were some opportunities to work together. And, we would have conversation. And she realized how much that she liked me. And, she really had an admiration for my thought processes and just, the things that I was doing at the time. So she came to town and she made sure she let me know and she let it be known that she wanted to see me. So I said, okay, made my way over there. she was staying with her friends and all that stuff. And it was a good atmosphere. It was a really good atmosphere. And then I just kind of pulled her away because I knew what that energy was all about. And I created a situation for us to have something sexual, and we did. And it was like, very impromptu, spontaneous, but it was very enjoyable. And it was something that she really wanted. It was a passion filled moment, meaning that, it's a certain type of energy when both people are just present and they really want something. It was one of those situations. And so, we kept in touch, and she it was something special, in her life that was coming up, and she wanted to come back in town. I was like, okay, I got you taken care of. And she came back in town. Everything was cool, man. We were able to spend some more time together, and we just agreed that her time with me was the departure that she was really looking for, as far as an elevated experience and something that was enjoyable for us both. And it was a great time, man. It was really nothing more than that to say. It was a great time, man. It's something that we both, we recollect on it from time to time. We remember it. But even in recent conversation, I was talking to her, and she was telling me about how guys would do certain things for her, like in the bed, and she won't have sex with them. And one of the situations kind of backfired on her, but I'm not going to go into that too deeply. But she was like, "Yeah, I let guys do this all the time," and she was just like, "Nah, I just don't do anything with them, and the guys stay in the bed with me." So, as a sexy, attractive man, you understand that if a woman is giving you roadblocks, or she's giving you non-interest, or she's trying to make you take a slow walk with her, it's not anything to be frustrated about, because you know that you're not the man that she wants to do that with, because you've had a multitude of women who've done the opposite with you. That's why I wanted to introduce that scenario. So, as soon as she saw me, we saw each other in person, boom, we got right to it. Then she came and stayed with me. It was just a fun-filled weekend, if you understand what I'm saying. And yet and still, that was a part of her. That's how she viewed me, as a sexy, attractive man, the man that was her fantasy. So all the other stuff, she gave me her best parts. And then she told me about the other men who she would lay with, because they wanted it more than she wanted it. And she's a traditional, beautiful black woman. You know how the media sets the stereotypes. I'm not saying one is more beautiful than the other. A light skinned, long haired chick. So, you got these dudes losing their shit because she's probably one of the more beautiful women they dealt with. And they're losing their shit. They're taking a slow walk. And then they're ending up in situations where they're frustrated. I mean, it has to be frustrating. You got this girl who lets you do certain things to her, but won't let you go all the way. But then y'all just laying in the bed and shit. And then you're going to do this shit again, and hope that maybe this will be the time that she lets me break through. And then you get on the phone with a dating coach like me, frustrated because you're boxing outside of your goddamn weight class. Because that same woman has a man that she's extremely sexually attracted to, that is her fantasy, and she wouldn't dare rob herself of the experience of having sex with that guy immediately when she sees him. And so you all have to accept all sides of women. You have to accept all sides of women. And you have to love yourself enough to only deal with the women that are checking for you the way that you're checking for them. That's how you identify and reverse your frustration with women. And then the last thing I have to say, you just have to accept that women don't owe you anything. I don't care how much of an initial attraction that she showed to you, how much excitement that she had, how much energy that you perceive. She can reverse course, and that's her right, man. That should never frustrate you. You should accept that as a part of the game. Because I'll bring you to, my last example will be something, more recent than 10 years ago and shit, or 5 years ago. I've been going back in the clock, but something more recent. I go up in the spot in DC. I get to the floor I want to get to, and there's tables as I'm walking. And this girl grabs me. She's standing on top of the table. I guess that her and her girls had some bottles, some pretty girls too. And she grabbed me. And she grabbed me and just started rubbing my head. And because I'm tall, so she was standing on the table. She was actually taller than me. She was standing on the seats at the table where she was. and telling me how handsome I am, and I'm having small talk with her, just to gauge what the situation is. I see that she's lusting me crazy, so I'm like, let me just get your number, and I'm not gonna crowd you, but I'm definitely gonna see you before the night is over, because I don't crowd women in clubs. And while she was rubbing my head, her girl rolled up on me and started rubbing my back, and then put her titties on my back and just reached around and started rubbing my chest. So this is like it was about to be like some orgy shit or something like that. Like they were just super turned on when they saw me. And so I get her number, and then at the end of the night, I send her a text, and she texts me back, and she's just like, "Yeah, well, where are you?" And I'm headed home. If are you gonna stay there? Or are you gonna come to me? And I'm just like, I'll come to you. And then I don't hear anything back. Then I'm thinking that it might have been a little bit of confusion or something like that. Not trying to persuade her. I'm just like, what happened? And she's like, oh, I was just drunk and blah, blah, blah. And this, and I remember who you are, and this and that. And that was the end of the conversation. Because that, I don't deal with girls that's on that bullshit. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that was not a frustrating experience. That was just part of the game. Women can show extreme interest in you, rub all on your head, do all that kind of stuff. And then you reach out to them, you never hear from them. That's just women. That's what I've been telling the men in my group, the men in my coaching sessions. Like, you can't be married to the outcome that you want. You have to be married to the outcome that is in front of you. And the right outcome will always be in front of you if you're in front of yourself. So you get ahead of yourself when you want women who are outside of your weight class. When you want women who don't want the interaction the same way that you want it. You have a mismatch in energy. That's when you are ahead of yourself. So you want to make sure that you're balanced, and that you're going to have nothing but fulfilling experiences with women, because you're dealing with women who want you the same exact way that you want them from hello. There's no imbalance. And if there's a reversal of course from her side in terms of interest, she's forgettable. It's not a frustrating experience. It's just all in the game, man. But the game is not frustrating when you become a sexy, attractive man. And there's a multitude of women that want you the same exact way that you want them. And guess what? Once you really work on yourself, the kind of women that you like want you the way that you want them. That's when there's no such thing as frustration. That's when if a woman tries to play a game with you, you immediately pivot. And when you pivot, it's not into an empty space. It's into an occupied space that's occupied by a woman that wants you the same way that you want her. That would never do the stuff that the woman that you had to pivot away from. That's how you identify and reverse the frustration with women in your life. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Bring you a video tonight talking about, how to identify and reverse the frustration you have with women, man. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life. In addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. And I hear you all in the comments. You want me to make custom videos. I'm going to do this again very quickly. A custom video is a topic that you want me to make a video on, okay? It costs $150 or more. A donation of $150 or more to my PayPal and my Cash App information that's in my video description will get you a custom video on my channel in 24 hours or less. There's a note feature on PayPal and Cash App where you can put the title of the video that you want me to make after you make your donation. And then I will have your video right here on my channel, Matthew C. Horne Dating, in 24 hours or less. If your subject matter is more nuanced than just leaving a note on PayPal or Cash App, if it's more detailed, make your $150 or more donation to my PayPal or my Cash App. Bypass the note feature. Email me at matt@matthewchorne.com with your more in-depth description of what you want me to make your video on. And once again, your video will be on my channel in 24 hours or less. If you've been improved, if you've been enlightened, if you've been motivated, if you feel better and more empowered for having encountered my message tonight, I want you to make a donation to my donation information that's in my video description, my PayPal and my Cash App. I'll never tell you what to donate. Just donate according to how my message has impacted you in this video. Your donations continue to help me to elevate and grow and move forward, and puts me in position to continue to bring you this elevated game on a continual basis so that you can elevate and move forward as well. It's a very even exchange. I want you all to donate. If you're in need of coaching, if you have different challenges in the dating space that you've been unable to overcome, different impediments, frustrations, challenges, and you keep finding yourself in the same situations with women, I'm your dating coach. I have your answers. If you're in need of coaching, then I want you to email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave your name, your phone number, and whatever issue that you're facing in the dating space in the body of the email. In the subject matter of the email, just leave coaching. Okay. I'll do an assessment. I'll email you right back with the terms of the coaching. And then the coaching will commence once we set the date and time. Really that simple, man. Give me 1 hour of your life, man. That 1 hour dating coaching session with me is going to give you clarity, and you're going to evolve and grow and move forward. And you're going to have some answers. You're going to get some breakthroughs. I promise you that. Sign up for your coaching. I'm still looking to fill the 5 slots, the remaining 5 slots for the individuals who want to take a year-long coaching journey with me. Okay, in the year-long coaching journey with me, what you're going to get is a minimum of 3 coaching calls per week. And you're going to have 24-hour access to me as well. That's why I can only take on 5 individuals because that's a lot of bandwidth. You can text me, call me, email me 24 hours a day. You can be in any situation with any woman or just a situation in life, and you're going to have 24-hour access to my guidance. I'm going to begin the coaching by assessing where you are in the dating space and in life and where you want to be. I'm going to create exact curriculum that's tailored to you exactly where you are with the trajectory to take you to where you want to be. And you will get breakthroughs and get clarity and answers in your very first coaching call. I promise you that. And everything from there is up. I promise you. 3 coaching calls a week that are just tailored to you. It's a very intense, focused program that's going to allow you to experience immeasurable growth. You give me 1 year of your life, it'll never be the same. So in order to get this year-long coaching journey with me, this is what I want you to do. Email me at matthewchorne.com. Leave your, put in the subject matter of the email, put mentorship. In the body of the email, leave your name, your phone number, and tell me exactly where you are in the dating space and where you want to be. Okay, that's the extent of it. I'm going to do an assessment, and I'm not going to email you back. I'm going to call you back, and we're going to decide if we're a good fit to work with one another over the course of a year. It's going to be an amazing experience to spend 1 year of your life with me. Okay, so reach out to me. And also, we're going to meet up in person no matter where you are in the world. Once I coach you, I trust that you're growing. I see that you're heading in the right direction. We'll meet up in person. Okay, then I can coach you in person as well. Great experience. Okay. Lastly, I want everyone to sign up for my dating coaching community on the school platform. The link to sign up for my dating coach community will be in the video description. I want everyone to sign up. In my dating coach community, you get a minimum of 2 custom videos every week that are just for the community. This is subject matter that is not on YouTube. It's just for the community. I also allow members of the community to give me topics to make videos on. So everyone's custom videos that they want made are placed in the community for everyone to see. I also, have my own titles as well. The material just keeps coming. Also, every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a live in the community, a video live where anyone can get on that's a member of the community. I do a monologue on a particular topic. We discuss the topic. And then after that, for the remainder of the hour, for that entire hour, I'm your dating coach. You can ask me anything you want to ask me every week for an entire hour. Every live video that we've made in the community is archived in the community. You can watch all the lives that we've done. Also, every custom video that I've made for the community is archived as well. So you can join my community right now and have access to dozens of videos that have nothing but elevated game and live in-person calls with me that are not on YouTube. It's an amazing space with exclusive content, and I want everyone to sign up, okay? So to sign up for my dating coach community on the school platform, go ahead and hit that link in my video description and sign up. It's affordable. It's a great place to be, man. And I love the personal nature of it, that I can, commune with every man in the community on a weekly basis. It's a great space, okay? But outside of that, I've pretty much said enough, man. You have to identify, the root of that frustration and reverse course, man. Identifying the root of your frustration and reversing yourself to have better experiences with women, man. That's what it's really all about. Just make sure you're dealing with women that are dealing with you the way that you deal with them, and you'll never be frustrated. Identify the red flags immediately and reverse course. Don't let it be a lingering thought of, oh, why did she do this and why did she do that? No, she did it. So you reverse course and you free yourself up to go towards the women who want you the way that you want them. It's really that simple. It's nothing to be frustrated about. And you improve yourself if you want better experiences. You don't have to lie to yourself. There's no need to have an ego as a man and lie to other people about these kind of women that you have. Deal with the women on the level that are offering themselves to you. That's your level. If you want a higher level of women, improve yourself. And then deal with those women when they offer you a seat to the table. So there's no frustration. Because there's never frustration when there's mutual interest and desire. And it grows at the same rate and fervor. So stay right there with those women who give you that experience. I'll see you all soon.